You're listening to The Paul Higgins Show, the place for ambitious tech consultants scaling to live better. After 18 years as a global leader and having a successful tech consulting exit, I'm sharing what's working now to transform emerging tech consultants worldwide into trusted consultants that attract the best clients and deliver measurable results. When you're ready to level up your clarity, results, and freedom, begin with the free Strategic Profits Blueprint available at paulhigginsmentoring.com/blueprint. You spend 20 minutes drafting an email to a potential client who has accepted your LinkedIn connection request only to get ghosted. Was it timing, circumstances, or the quality of the email? Hello, this is Paul Higgins and welcome to episode 536 of the Paul Higgins Show. Today is a solo episode. The first two are out of your control, but not the third. In this episode, I will give you the three-part formula for successful sales emails that gets replies to gain you more revenue. When you first checked your inbox today, how many unsolicited inbound messages did you have? If you're lucky, it was less than 5. And if you're on average, it was 10 or more. And even better, if you've got a virtual assistant or someone that manages your inbox like I do, you don't have any. But I'm thinking you have at least got between 5 or 10 or maybe more. And your prospective clients are no different. So how do you break that pattern? You learn the three-part formula. And the three parts are 1, response, 2, rapport, and 3, ask. But before I go into the 3, let me cover what I typically see when I first start working with tech consultants. I call it the burger with the lot. You get everything into the first email and hope that something sticks. It is easy to write the email, and ChatGPT or whatever the equivalent you use has made it so much easier. But as Mark Twain said, I didn't have time to write you a short letter, so I wrote you a long one instead. What makes it more critical in today's world is mobile phones. 81% of emails are opened and read on mobile devices according to SuperOffice. The need for brevity is never as critical. Look at the last couple of emails to potential clients and the number of sentences. Right? So even if you want to pause, if you're at your desk, go and have a look. How many, right? How many sentences was in that email? Yep, it is not going to work for you and the client, especially if you've got whole paragraphs of sentences there. And that is a perfect segue into part 1, response. So part 1, response. This is the only objective of the first email, to get a response. It's that simple. To get a response, you need to have an open question. It needs to be 1 to 2 sentences, and that's all is needed, right? It doesn't have to be complicated. As Mark Twain said, you actually need to take the time to simplify it. Some examples can be as simple as this. Thanks for accepting my connection first name. What sparked your attention? We recently connected on LinkedIn first name, and I found LinkedIn messages hard to track. Do you have the same experience? I love your banner image first name. Was it taken on a vacation? Now, please don't put at the start of the first email that you send, hi first name, right? That's a dead giveaway that it's a script and it's a sale. So that's why I insert first name in the sentence itself. And there are a million different ways to ask the question, but the formula is simple, 1 to 2 sentences ending in a question. Now, for a bonus tip, have an image of their LinkedIn profile showing how you are a first connection so that they know there's some relevance there and it relates to the connection request. All right, so we've done step 1, which is response. Now let's go into rapport. You have all heard the bar analogy a million times, so I'll keep this brief. You know the story where someone goes into a bar and they ask you out on a date straight away. And you know that just doesn't happen in real life. And it doesn't happen in email as well. Before you ask something personal, you need to build rapport, right? Exactly the same with email. Sales are simply helping someone to get what they can't do themselves, right? And you need to earn the permission to ask and find out what that something is. Research is your ally and scripts are your enemy. as you can sniff out a script from a mile away. So can your audience. So throw those scripts in the bin, right? Just get rid of them. I know there's so many online. I know I've released some messages before as well, but believe me, this is not going to work, or it's not going to work for you. Leave it to the cold outreach companies sending hundreds to get 1 to 2 replies an email, 1 to 2%. That's just not the game we're in. And you're selling, high expensive services, right? So you don't need hundreds of people. You might need 5 or 6 more deals. That's it. So you don't need to tarnish your brand and get the risk of your Gmail or your Outlook account being banned as spam. You just don't want to go there. So back to the research. Upload their LinkedIn profile and their website into ChatGPT or whatever you use, and use prompts to build the rapport. If you'd like to see the prompts, just reach out. The links are in the notes. Typically, you would use the reply from step 1 in the email, and then you reply with something like, I see insert research, and then end with a question. So, for example, I see you're looking for a new business analyst, first name. Do you have any applicants, right? Or how many applicants do you have? Something like that. Remember, the potential client has already seen your LinkedIn profile and they know what you do, right? So I'm assuming your profile is up to scratch. And if not, go listen to episode 324 of the Paul Higgins Show. I've got some great tips there on doing your LinkedIn profile. So we've done rapport. We've done first, which was the response. Now it's number 3, which is ask. You get them responding and building rapport over a series of short emails, right? In the best case scenario, they look at your LinkedIn profile and content, which does the heavy lifting for you, and they ask you a question about what you do. If not, you ask them. Once again, the ask should be neutral and not scripted, and it should be built on the rapport section where you've already done most of the heavy lifting. I've said scripts are the enemy, but a framework is okay. You can use something like I am, insert the service that you provide. That helps, insert the niche that you provide. Do, the benefit, the action, by a unique service feature. So for example, I'm a Salesforce consultant that helps medical device companies achieve 20% lift in profits by my whatever your methodology is, right? So that's a bit of an example of how you do that. Is this something you are looking for? Is the next thing that you would have. So I'll just quickly repeat that. So I'm a service, you put in what you do, your description. That helps who's your niche that you're targeting. Do, the benefit of the action, by, and then your unique service feature, which is great to have your methodology is something that only you provide. And then the next sentence is this something you are looking for? Hopefully they will reply with a yes and you're off to the races. If they reply with a no, ask them if they would like to learn more about the topic. If you have a newsletter, offer them that as a solution. So warning, sales is complex, and these 3 steps, general advice learned from working in sales for 28 years, running a tech consulting business and doing these myself, and finally now mentoring other tech consultants. And this is just a guide. I read and draft emails for my clients all the time, and I love it. It's my superpower. Often, what my key thing is to get them to end up doing it in their own tone. But what I do is edit, and I can significantly improve their response rates by doing that. If you want more specific help, just reach out to me. Once again, all the links in the show notes. So ready, set, go. First, test the 3-part formula for success for sales emails. 2, keep track of the response rates. And 3, reach out for specific help. See you next time on the Paul Higgins Show Solo Edition. Time for action. Subscribe, comment, and let me know what you like best about this episode. Plus, get the Strategic Profits Blueprint at paulhigginsmentoring.com/blueprint.